If you ever liked action films with outstanding fight scenes and choreography, I'm about to blow your mind, guys. This movie messed up with my head. It's the best action thing I have seen in almost forever. And I'm talking about The Night Comes For Us. You ready?
Lepasin lo! Lepasin anjing! Lepasin lo bangsat! Siapa yang nyuruh kalian anjing?
This is an action thriller first production in Indonesia from Netflix that sets up action fight scenes and choreography forever, and I feel that it ruins my viewing experience for future films. Joe Taslim, who you might remember as Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat, is outstanding. He's the main character who plays one of the 6 C's, an enforcer for Triad gangs in Asia that decides to do the right thing and has to pay the consequences of it. And he has the entire Triad, including other members of the 6 C's and assassins, thugs, everybody's after this guy. Iko Uwais, who you might remember from the raid, he's a main antagonist, and the fight scenes are really what this is all about. The story is not the best, but you're not in this film to watch story. You're here to watch brutal combat with extremely good choreography. And I mean outstanding. Bloody fights, very cool choices for characters, a tiny bit of background about what's going on, and definitely a setup for a possible sequel that I really hope happens, because this movie just blew my mind. Once you go past the first half hour, which is actually somewhat slow in setting up the characters and the plot, the action is non-stop. And at a certain point, I was watching through my fingers. I kid you not, I was somewhat covering my face because the action on screen was so brutal, so relentless, that I couldn't watch it in any other way. And I am okay with gory films with realistic arm breaks, cuts, and death. Timo Tjahjanto wrote and directed this film expertly. You might have known about this guy from horror films and compilations like VHS 2 and the ABCs of Death, but the way this guy shoots action, it rivals what Jackie Chan does in his action comedies. He is able to frame action in such a way that you're not guessing a single thing of where a hit is coming from, the relationship between characters, within a fight, close-ups where there needs to be, but otherwise the shots are wide and it's not shaky cam, although at times it is when it needs to be, but just a little bit, and it doesn't distract you from the action on screen, and the choreography is just impactful, powerful, meaningful. I think it's original, although I haven't seen all of the fantastic Indonesian cinema that's related to martial arts. I feel it portrays each one of the stunt and the actors doing what they do at their best, which is very long takes with concise, almost appreciated contact in each hit. And I have no idea how people were not severely hurt or killed on this set, because I mean, you will see the falls, you will see the breaks, you understand how some of those are done, but then you see other stunts that you have no idea how they were done, where the padding is for the stunts, and how people just didn't get injured or maimed. The weapon work on this is also fantastic. There's a lot of practical blood, very clever use of practical effects altogether, and I could barely see some digital enhancing. Of course there's color correction, but overall the action just brings you into a savage, cruel, relentless fight that goes sometimes for 20 minutes. And again, since the raid, I haven't seen anything like it. And now that I've seen some action created in Marvel series and movies, I don't know what to do, because it's not even close to being this realistic, this good. And I understand they're going for the comic booky feel, but this relentless, realistic fights, The Night Comes For Us is just on another planet. Don't worry that the action is going to be everything that the movie offers, because the story is actually intriguing and it's so much about redemption and having to pay for the sins of the past. The acting is very convincing and very powerful, where the main characters show exactly what they need to through their performances, but also in their fighting styles and in the way they engage with each other. The one-liners that there are, some here and there, are very clever and work fantastic, although there's a lot of stereotypical dialogue that you expect from this type of movie. There's also a surprising amount of depth, lore that you probably would expect from a John Wick 2 or 3, and it works in a very good way. There's a fantastic side cast that is equally skillful and amazing at what they do. Overall, The Night Comes For Us is extremely entertaining after the first half hour, especially when the fights get more frequent and more brutal. The characters are a little bit cliche but very interesting. The main cast is outstanding in their performances and their abilities to show what martial arts should look like on screen. The direction is clear and the fights are shot in a way that you understand everything and you can take on the brutal, blood-filled and relentless action, and it sets up the movie for a sequel that I hope comes someday. I am extremely grateful for movies like this that showcase what stunt work in other countries is and how it rivals to what we have seen in high budget productions in Marvel and DC films. And The Night Comes For Us, it's outstanding. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it spoiled every other movie with action scenes in it to come forward, because I don't think they will ever match this level of action, realism, and brutal bloody combat. If you have seen The Night Comes For Us, or you have other action-oriented films that you would like for me to check out, please let me know in the comments, especially if you love this movie as much as I do. I'm Jin from Get Me More, and you know where to find me. Thanks for watching.